Hello everybody, this is Cameron Snow with Danomics.com. So in this video, I want to highlight some more of Danomics geoscience capabilities. So what I'm going to show you how to do in this video is how easy it is to make both structure and isopach maps that take into account your deviation surveys. All right, let's get started. So at this point, we would have already picked our tops. We've already got our stratigraphic framework sorted out. And so now what we want to do are we want to generate those structure and isopach maps. And the most efficient way to do this is through our flows tool set. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start off with File, New Flow, and that will create a new blank flow for you. And then we'll add a series of tools. So we're going to add a points input to bring in our tops. We're going to use our tops to TVD tool. And this is where we'll bring in our process deviations and combine those with our well headers. We'll then grid these up. And note that we're gridding in XY space, and we're using a projection survey in here from our project. And we're going to be grouping these by formation. And then finally, we'll have a grid output. And we just hit the run button here. It's take a couple seconds to run, and we would get this grid file. Now, the interesting thing about this grid file, this is an area where I think Danomics can save you a lot of time, is you'll notice back here in the flow, we grouped this by formation. And what that means is that now it's going to make this structure map for every one of my formations. So whether or not I'm looking at the Niobrara, the Muddy, the Parkman, whatever formation, I've already got that structure map made just by running that one flow. Similarly, for our isopachs here, we'll make a flow, and we'll bring in our tops. We'll apply our deviations, and then we'll use a special tool called tops to isochore points. And we're going to use a zones file, and that zones file is what allows us to define our stratigraphy. And we are, then going to, we have a few options here for how we want to handle things, and this is especially useful when you have, let's say, highly deviated well bores. That's one of the areas where this tool excels. We'll grid these up, and once again, we're going to group these columns by zone, and by doing that, that will once again allow us to make an isopach map for every zone by running this one flow. So once again, we hit the run button, and that generates our isopach grids, and we'll have these for all our zones again. So by running that one flow, we've made it for all of our zones. And conveniently, it's stored in this one file, so we don't have to, one, run it for every zone of interest, but two, we don't have to manage dozens and dozens of files. And we do this for every grid type within Danomics, where you could have, let's say 40 or 50 grids for a dozen zones stored inside of one file. And then we want to come in here and display this. So all we have to do to display it is go to a .map file in Danomics, and these are where this is our GIS-like map editor. So all we do is we just come in here, we say, hey, we want to map up a property. We choose that grid file. We say what zone we'd like it for. Choose our color palette, some options on contour, intervals, and range here. Hit apply, and then we can see that isopach map that we made, in this case for the Niobrara. We could do a similar activity here for the structure map, where we just add a property, choose the grid file that we made, choose the formation, set up our options for color palette and contour interval, and hit apply. And that's how easy it is in Danomics to generate structure and isopach maps that take into account your stratigraphy, your zonations, and your deviation surveys. If you would like to learn more, feel free to reach out to us at sales@danomics.com. Thanks.